Hey, friends, be honest. Have any of you actually read the Bible or The Purpose Driven Life? I looked at it, saw how thick it was, full of confusing words, and I just closed it. But still, I always confidently said I was a Christian. I even wore a cross around my neck. For many years, I thought Christianity, the Bible, was incredibly complicated. I believed you could only understand it if you dedicated 10 years of your life to studying it. And honestly, I always thought that people who really understood the Bible could do magic, like turning one loaf of bread into many, healing the sick, raising the dead. I figured that if I studied the Bible long enough, I'd be able to do those things too. Walk on water, heal, hand out bread like miracles on demand. Turns out, that was just another my personal fail. I couldn't have imagined that Jesus summed up his entire teaching in just two rules. A few simple sentences. And guess what? His message had nothing to do with magic. Has anyone ever seen a part in the Bible where Jesus trains his disciples to walk on water? He wasn't teaching that. He taught a simple way to live. Actually, he said, just follow two rules and you'll live like a king in heaven. Here's the deal. The Bible is a collection of random stories about God written by different people. Like a spiritual mixtape. Back in the day, Greek publishers would find a story with God in it and toss it in to make the book longer and pricier. Because who's buying a 12-page Bible, right? Different countries added their own chapters, so some Bibles include stories others don't. Same book, different playlists. And get this, there's a whole section in the Torah that gives rules for owning slaves. Like, really? Can you imagine Jesus as a slave owner? It's both ridiculous and terrifying. He never commanded anyone but himself. With all this mess, no wonder people are confused. Take the story of Adam and Eve. Everyone says Eve gave Adam an apple, but the Bible just says fruit. What if it was a banana? Think about it. We'd have banana ink instead of apple. Paintings would show bananas instead of apples. The symbol of temptation, a banana. Snakes would slither through banana trees. And we'd hang bananas on Christmas trees. You get the idea. But seriously, there are stories about Moses, Noah's Ark, Adam, the snake, the forbidden fruit, slavery laws, and only 4 stories about Jesus, all from different authors. It's a literary buffet and people can't digest it. So the actual message of Jesus, it just gets lost in the mix. Nowhere in the Bible does Jesus teach people how to do miracles. There's no how to multiply bread guide. No water walking for beginners. He just did those things and kept walking. And people thought, I want that. I want to pay my bills, fix my back, make coffee just by thinking about it. But no one ever figured it out. Do you know any pastor who walks on water? Sure, some fly in private jets bought with donations, but that's not what Jesus meant. His message wasn't solve problems with magic. It was live in a way that your problems don't destroy you. Here's the key. Jesus didn't preach to scholars. His audience was everyday people. Women with no rights, the homeless, sinners. Matthew was literally a debt collector. They begged him, just give us one rule, something we can remember. And Jesus said, okay, 2 rules. Love God. Love your neighbor as yourself. Don't hurt anybody. That's it. You can literally Google Jesus' greatest commandment and boom. Everything else he said, just explanations of those 2 things. You'd think that'd be enough. But nope, people started asking, Do I need to wear a cross? Who exactly is my neighbor? Cousins? Foster parents? Should we baptize by sprinkling? Candles? Clockwise 3 times or what? Can I skip church if I'm not married? Seriously? People just clung to rituals, stuff they made up themselves. Because that was easier than loving, forgiving, not judging. That's the hard part. So people hide behind rules. But Jesus said it's not about rituals. It's about how you live and how you love. Look, I wanted the Bible to be a guide to miracles. Turns out it's a guide to the heart. Jesus didn't teach magic. He taught humanity. Not the fake smiling kind. The real raw kind where you're kind without being numb, strong without being cold. The message of Jesus. Love. Forgive. Don't judge. Don't hurt. Live simply just like he did.